Welcome back to the, what we call this show? The Buck and Tony Show.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Boys. Yeah. Hold on. We them boys. Hold on. We them boys. Hold on. We making noise. Hold on.
We've been gone for a hot minute. As you can tell, I got some gray hair, That's how long we've been off the market. I don't know if our sponsor counseled us or our sponsors counseled us. I don't know what happened. But today we have a special guest on the show, and it's called Where Are They Now? Tony Bentley?
Yes, sir. Today is a special day for Coach Willis and myself. We are starting a new segment on our show. We are going back and finding legends, and we want them to come out and talk about their story and the times that they, grew up and things like that. So today we have a very special guest, a local legend, a hero to Coach Willis and myself. You've heard us talk about this guy throughout our shows, and anytime you mention Wakefield, his name always comes up. So without further ado, we'd like to welcome Mr. Joe Lowe to the show. Joe, welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. Wakefield Warriors.
I hope people don't know, APT represent, baby.
APT all day.
Yes, sir.
For you guys at home, you may hear the reference APT all day long. Two young men grew up on Johnson Hill. You're going to hear that reference a lot. So we're going to just jump right into this. And this is Joe's segment, man. So we want to spend time talking to Joe and getting the people to know who Joe Lowe is, was, all that good stuff. So Joe, I just want to start off, man, and just ask you, man, talk about where you grew up and how you found the love, I'll say, for sports, because I know you more than just a basketball player. So just talk about how you grew up, where you grew up, and some influences you had on your life.
Okay, yeah. So I grew up on Johnson Hill. My mom, she's been living there like over 50 years, 60 years. And I lived in apartment 1413 Rolfe Street, right across the street from that Bama.
Sir, 1736, represent.
Yeah. So always been down there. First started playing basketball at Carver Center. Bob Winkler, he used to work down the valley, but he came to Carver and started a basketball team. And we were Wayne Construction back in the day. And crazy story, like we had a lot of the Valley guys on our team. Like we had Greg Turner, Erwin Davis, Abdul Wali right now. Who else we have on our team? Warren Doze is on that team. It's like we're like 8 or 9 years old. And Warren Doze, this is funny. Big Rod was on that team.
Okay.
Kevin Gaskins.
Blade.
What else we had? Huh?
Blade,
yeah. We had, I'm trying to figure out who else was on this team.
8 or 9 years old. Was he still cutting people then?
A little bit. That's the beginning of the cut. Yeah, but he brought down our first team, Wayne Construction, and every uniform was different, but it did have Wayne Construction. Every uniform was different. Shorts was different. Shirt was different. But that was the beginning of it. Bob brought that to us. And then maybe the following year, we became Carver Center, Carver Cougars. And played there for like till I was like 12. And then he took me and Kevin over to DC to try out for number 2 boys club. But Kevin's like a year older than I am. So he made the team higher than I did. I made the other team. His team was a mob, man. His team ended up winning their whole tournament. And his team ended up going out to California.
Wow.
And playing for a national championship, stuff like that. And but that's pretty much how it started. And I stayed at Carver for a while, played under Bob for a long period of time. And then, I don't know, Buck Murray probably remember, but I don't know if Carver had a 14 under team. I don't know. I think they stopped at 12. I don't remember.
They
after that,
they had a 14 under my last
year. Yeah, little guy. Yeah, after that, I think it stopped at 12.
Yeah.
And so after that, I went on to play for the Arlington Cubs. And I played for number 2 boys club on New York Avenue and Arlington Cubs rec league. And that was a tough league because Drew had a team, Langston had a team. All them teams had mobs. And all of them had good teams. So,
because if I'm not mistaken, Joe, I don't want to cut you off, but back then, you said, Drew had a team, Langston had a team. Those were all neighborhood teams.
Right, yeah, exactly.
The best guys on the neighborhoods playing with each other.
Playing on that team, right, exactly.
They don't have that nowadays. And,
right. And that was a special thing about it because a lot of them guys going on those teams, you went to school with them. So the trash talk was sick. Yeah. Playing against Drew, playing against Langston and stuff like that. But, and Drew had they had some teams down there, man. They had some ballers down there. But
hey,
it was fun, man.
I'm a man of details, and I'm just looking at my notes, and you said Kevin Gaskins made the A team, and you made the B team.
Well, no.
You knew it was gonna
he was a year older than I was, so he was a year ahead of me.
So it wasn't.
He's all the same age.
It wasn't skill wise.
Kevin can ball.
Right.
Yeah, he could go. Yeah, that wasn't a problem.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
So you get that straight?
With that said, Joe, I noticed you mentioned Bob Winkler, who we all had our dealings with Bob Winkler. May he rest in peace. He was a community guy for a lot of us. Were there any other guys in your growing up that influenced you with sports or with anything in life?
I mean, it was a lot of guys in the neighborhood, like Big Earl, D. Peters, John Bolin, Rudy Jackson, the guys that would always come to the rec and play basketball. And they used to get out on me when I was younger, and stuff like that. But I think that helped me out in the long run, After playing for Bob, I started dealing with Bo Knight a lot. And he just changed my life completely. I don't know where I'd be without Bo Knight, for real.
I like Bo Knight.
And just taking me to practice and getting me to games. Because after about 14, that AAU situation got crazy. I was on a lot of different teams and playing rec and doing this and doing that. And I was staying with Bo Knight for a while. So he was taking me everywhere, practice, games. He didn't have to do that. I wasn't his kid, nothing like that, man. He just did other kinds of his heart. And
always.
He knows I appreciate that, but he did a lot because it was crazy. It got to a point from like 14 to 17, 18. It was nuts. It was basketball all the time. It was all year long, stuff like that. And he was always there to take me where I need to go, make sure I ate, make sure my sneakers was right, make sure I had a place to sleep, stuff like that, so I appreciate him. And then after the DC thing started, because I don't know what's going on back then, man. These things stopped really early. Like, I only played for number 2 till I was like maybe 14 or 15. And then I moved on to Charles Houston.
Alexander.
And, I don't know if you remember Pee Wee and Queen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I played for them for a long time. And I played for a lot of TC cats. Played with Joe Anderson, Byron Sneed, Melvin McCants, Hips. I don't think Snake came a little later.
Snake might be right. Snake
Snake came a little later. I was a little older than he was.
Right.
But he ended up playing.
Did you play with Tyrone Shaw?
Summer league down at the Diamond.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a couple years older than I was.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. Down at Diamond, we had that monster team down there that we won the league every year, but we're not coming. Yeah, but Charles Houston we had a good team too. And also on that team, we had Walter and Crawford.
The Palmer brothers.
On that team. Yeah, we had a monster team. So that team was pretty good. And funny story, them two were competitive dudes, man. They used to go at each other. And so we in practice one day, and they get the elbow and pushing and shoving. I didn't think nothing would come of it. And I turned around, they started throwing punches, and them were some of the longest punches I've ever seen. I was trying to just get out the way.
What you got, 7'2" and 6'11"?
Yeah. Punches was...
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Buck,
they used to go at it.
Buck and I played with twins, Eric and Mark Withers, and They were the exact same in practice. When they fought, coach would just watch out and let them fight.
And they'll have to go to the replay monitor now to see if they're
right, man. So
yeah, let them do it.
Yeah.
Cause it's not their first one.
No. Brotherly love. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Joe. Man,
go ahead, Bob.
we're going so much about, you know, the 14 to 17 about basketball, but you were a hell of a football player. So where did you find the time to play football in between all your basketball skills, heavy basketball skills?
Well, I played quarterback, so it wasn't a lot of hitting me in practice. so
you were a Red Cross jersey.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I made Eric Rainey quit one day. Had to go in the locker room and give him, I'm sorry, man, come back. Because they couldn't hit me. So I had a red jersey on. If I got close to them, yo, I'm waiting. I'm giving them the business. Yeah, so, I mean, football was more, I like the camaraderie of football. I like being with the guys and being in the locker room and Friday nights. And what got me one time was like Alan Glasscock. I was like, he played quarterback, but Rudy was his backup. Alan broke his collarbone, and Rudy started. I rode the bus with Rudy, you know, so I'm like, man, I'm riding the bus with the starting quarterback. And that sort of started a fire in me, like, oh, man, I want to play quarterback. And try to at least be decent in it. You know, I had some studs out there. I had Rodney, straight stud. You know, I just couldn't give him the ball.
Was that his freshman year?
Huh?
Was that his freshman year that Rodney played with you?
I think it was sophomore year.
Sophomore year, okay.
Yeah, sophomore year. I think I'm 2 years ahead of Rodney.
Yeah, Rodney Grant, 89, Rodney Hunter.
Yeah. But football, I mean, so I never had no dreams of taking it further than high school, you know, because nobody's going to let me play quarterback in college.
Right.
And I never tackled anybody in my life, so I don't think college was a place to learn.
So, Joe, did you play Little League in Arlington? I mean, I just know you football at Wakefield. I don't remember hearing about you Little League.
Nah, I didn't. I didn't play any little. I was a skinny dude back then, man. I was like, I didn't play any football.
That's crazy.
Growing up. I started playing football in 8th grade at Wakefield.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
So that's similar to me when I didn't pick up football until 9th grade, my 9th grade year.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't my sport.
Yeah,
you know,
my sport.
And basketball took up so much time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Basketball took up so much of your time, man. It was like, it was crazy. So I played freshman. We played freshman in the 8th grade back then.
Right.
And we played freshman, and we was getting mollywopped every Thursday. Thursday became a bad day. Do I got to go to school today?
Oh, man.
Yeah, but man, football was fun, but I didn't really have any expectations of going to college with it or anything. I love playing with the guys. I had a good time. We won some games. We always beat W&L and Yorktown, so that made it great.
Right. So go back, Joe. I'm gonna ask you because you are a little bit older than us, and we have this debate a lot. You touched on a little bit earlier about playing against guys that you grew up with. What's your take on if Arlington had one high school?
Oh, man. That'd have been crazy, man. You know, that'd have been a team that...
Name some guys that you would have played with. Y'all would have been on the same team.
Walter, Doze, Terrence Knuckles, Daryl Armstrong. Jackie Moore. Quack.
Yeah.
Gosh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'd have been a crazy... Practice would have been nuts.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some of them cats might have had to sit down a little bit.
Right. Good guy. I mean?
Yeah, real good dude.
I've said it all along. I wasn't that great, but I probably would have been on the bench if we'd had one high school, you know.
Yeah. I don't say that, man.
Yeah. I'm thankful we had 3 high schools.
I was going to say, I don't even know if you would have made the team.
See, there you go.
See, that ain't right.
You
need a new co-host.
You're fired.
Oh, man. Moving on. So Joe, when now we talk about your days, and people out here know that you graduated from Wakefield High School, class of '87, big time football player, as everybody knows him as a big time basketball player for sure. Let me just ask you real quick. You played under the legend Bob Veldrum.
Yes.
And you know, everyone knows what you meant to Wakefield basketball. How did Coach Veldrin feel about you playing football?
He just would say, just don't get hurt. That was it. He didn't really say much about it. That was one constant for him. Like, hey, just don't get hurt.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself, and just be ready to go when it's time to go. No excuses.
So, talk to us about, you know, Wakefield basketball. You know, what years did you play varsity? When did it click that, you know, when did Joe Lowe become Joe Lowe?
Okay.
You know?
Started out the 9th grade, playing for Coach Tom, and man, he's a tough coach. Everybody thought Belgian was crazy. Tom, man, that's a whole different story right there, man. Our man Colton, he was always telling us not to lean on the wall. And I'm talking to Colton, he's leaning on the wall, and a chest pass came by my ear. Bow! Hit him right in the face. Man, I ain't touched the wall since. But, you know, stuff like that probably wouldn't go over well with kids of today. But back then, that was normal.
Yeah.
You know, so I played for him. We had a pretty good team. But I remember Coach Bernhardt, he was JV coach, always had nice JV teams. They lose like 1 or 2 games a year. But after my freshman year, Kevin played JV. And then we both moved up to varsity our sophomore years.
Okay.
Yeah, so we I
So
never really got a chance to play for Coach Bernhardt, but he was there every Tuesday and Friday night, you know, with everybody else, all the other coaches. Freshman year, sophomore year was rough, you know, because mentally and physically, I don't think I was ready, you know, but I could play a little bit, you know, so, and I worked hard, you know, but it was a learning experience, and I think me and Kevin both got better our junior year. And, you know, because with the summer leagues and AAU and all that stuff going on, I think from my sophomore year to my junior year was when there was a noticeable change. Mm-hmm. You know, I gained a little more weight, got a little bigger, and all that stuff like that. The weight was always a problem. I was just so daggone skinny. You know, you probably don't know nothing about that, but, you know. But now I think I just got stronger and better between that 10th grade and 11th grade year, you know. And then, you know, senior year, it was just a good year. We just had a good year, had good guys, had Keith, Putt, Steve Cars, Aaron B., Sid on that team. Sid was doing his thing. Yeah, but I liked Wakefield because it was a program, you know. So we did the same thing freshman. So, you know, everybody ran the same offense, the same defenses. So, you know, it wasn't a learning curve. You had to learn every year. Yep. And we played hard. You know, when I got to college, I already knew how to play hard.
Right.
You know, I didn't do the smartest things sometimes, but playing hard wasn't a problem. You know, stuff like that. So, I had a great time at Wakefield. Loved going to practice, except on Saturdays, you know, but but it was great. Had a great time, man. Belgium he had high expectations of you, man. If you couldn't take it, then you just couldn't take it, you know. I came from Bob Winkler, so the yelling and screaming and the language, that didn't bother me at all, right. You know. I mean, he wouldn't say nothing to you if you didn't care.
Right.
You know, he wasn't trying to make you a better player. So, you know, I took it in stride and I enjoyed playing for him, you know.
So can you joke, because everybody likes to hear names, man. Can you give us some names that you played against? I know I just recently saw on Facebook a picture of you as all regional player with Hubert Davis. Mm-hmm. Did you ever play against Hubert Davis? I know you guys' names was all in the same breath. Can you talk about Hubert Davis or guys that you remember playing against?
Yeah, he could shoot it. He could just play. Yeah, he had a good all-around game. Wasn't flashy, just bucket after bucket after bucket. You know, trying to remember. Jefferson, you know, just Knuckles was always tough. Doze was always tough. Daryl Armstrong was always tough. Quack used to give me hell playing defense and give me foul me a whole lot, but we're not gonna talk about that.
and talk about trash while he fouling you.
Yeah. Walter and Crawford, you know, were great. That dude at Jefferson, I remember him, Curvin Dennis.
Yeah.
He was about 6'7". I think he was a lefty, and he was nice with it. So
I want to get on the record, Joe, that you did not mention Stan Pelham, my brother. He didn't give you any fits, right?
Stan was nice.
You gonna see the show, so I just want to make sure that Stan. I'm gonna say it again. Stan Pelham did not get Joe Lowe fits. Okay, all right, we good.
Hey, and Tony said that.
He always talk about them Jefferson teams, how good Jefferson was, and we used to get this and that. So I just wanted to make sure that
So
I
what
get
I must have missed those. I must have missed those Jefferson teams.
So what you're saying is, when Stan walked in the gym, you said, "Oh, I'm gonna have 40 tonight."
Not 40, about 35.
My brother, all right, that's enough about my brother. Y'all, he gonna kill me.
I know.
You're ugly. You're disgusting. I'm going to kill you. Give me $200.
Look, you're not gonna be my friend on Strava no more.
Yeah, right.
You're gonna drop me.
Oh man. So we talked about your time at Wakefield and tough competition and playing for the legend Coach Belger. And Joe, you moved on after your Wakefield days, and we can always go back and touch on Wakefield. But what did you do after Wakefield, Joe?
Oh, I went to Longwood College, and I played basketball there. We had some local guys here, like Bobby Dobson and Devon Williams, coaches at Oxon Hill, girls basketball. We've had a couple of local guys, but I had a great time there too. Learned a lot. Played with Bobby. I got a funny story with Bobby. He's like 2 years ahead of me, so coach gassing me up. Like the first practice, man. You're not that first month. You're not even touching the basketball. So you run in and all. I'm killing this dude running. Murdering him. Every time he sprints, long runs, I'm just trying to kill him every time. Coach like, yeah, man, we need you to really push him this year. So I can't wait till we get that ball in our hands. Man. At first practice, man, that dude did everything he wanted to do to me.
People don't know Bobby Dobson was a good ball player, man.
Oh, man, he did everything. So after practice, I went to the equipment guy. I said, man, who gave me these Hillies? I was skating all over the place.
Oh, man.
But what he did, what sort of type of guy he is, he could have had me that way for most of the season. But the next day, he sat me down and talked to me. I said, man, you out here going too hard. Learn this, do that. And I got better. And I was a better practice player for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that goes away to say what type of guy he was.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. What made you lean towards Longwood? What caught your eyes to say, hey, this is where I'm going to go?
It was because my junior year, I was trying to get into Georgia JMU. Mm-hmm. And the recruiting process was like a headache for me. Everybody in your ear. My mother really didn't know too much about it, so I was just trying to get it over with. And the JMU thing didn't work out. So I really didn't have any, couple CIAA schools, but I didn't want to go too far. And I definitely wouldn't, George Mason was interested, but I definitely wouldn't be too close. Howard was interested. I said, no, I don't want to be that close. And I had a cousin down there, and the coach had talked to her, and she got in touch with me, and I went down for a visit, and I hung out with the guys, and I loved it, and that was it. That was a wrap. best decision I've made in my life. It was the best decision I made. I think that place was perfect for me. Right. I got better as a person, better as a basketball player, and graduated. So you really can't beat that.
Oh, you can ask. Now, was that your first time really away from Arlington?
No, I went to a couple basketball camps. One night we'll find these basketball camps that were way out. Man, I was in North Carolina.
Yeah, did you go to Campbell University basketball camp?
Yes. Bruce Creek.
Yeah, it's both. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, so I was all over the place with the basketball. That wasn't my first time away from home.
Okay.
And you know how it is. Once you get down there, you don't come back home.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
But it was the best decision I ever made. I met some great guys on the basketball team. We friends today. It was great. I had a good time. The school supported the team. We was the only show in town.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. So the support was crazy. And all that. But it was a good time now. And plus we had a couple other Wakefield kids come down there. Corey, Buck's cousin, he came. He was supposed to go there.
Right.
And he came. He actually came down to stay with me for a weekend. You know, before he got out of high school, and it didn't work out. But I wish he had came there.
Yeah.
And we had a couple guys from Wakefield. Not too many from Northern Virginia, but they got guys from everywhere. So you know how college is. It's like people compliment you, just like the relationships you had and stuff like that. But I don't have no regrets.
That's my credo. No regrets.
You know, it was a good spot for me. You know. Played a lot of basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, Joe, you've after graduating Wakefield, it's been a couple of years now, 87. Have you been back to see any high school basketball? And if so, do you think things have changed from when you played in Northern Virginia in 1987 to now, or what's your take on that?
Yeah, I go to Wakefield games, and I think kids are more talented as a whole. Like you'll have a whole team of talented kids. You know, back then, I think, we had our core 7 or 8, and that was who was going to play. I think now I see a lot of teams, that they can go down 11 and 12, not skip a beat, So, and I think that comes with, like, basketball is more, a lot of kids can get, there's so many camps and there's so many trainings and all this stuff. So a lot of kids can get, the training that they need. Before, we just had the rec.
Yep,
that's it.
And that was it.
Yep.
And that was it. So now you got all these other outlets that can help you push your game to different levels and stuff like that. So you'll see kids. I've seen kids that, come up to my school in Springfield. 3 years ago, they couldn't play. They couldn't throw it in the ocean. And now they can do everything.
With the help of trainers.
So just from the training and, hard work, so. And I think a lot of parents, pushing their kids to, like, specialize in this, like, we was growing up like football, basketball, a little baseball here and there. Like, but now kids like, I'm playing basketball, and that's 365 every day. You know what I mean?
Now, like Coach said, you've been back watching the game and things have changed. Have you ever thought about coaching?
Nah, man, I don't envy you guys at all. Nah, I don't know. I'm here trying to motivate my daughter, man. I can't motivate a 18-year-old boy. Nah, it's not something. I think if you coach, that's something you gotta be passionate about, and I love basketball, I love watching it, but I don't think I'll be a good motivator. I'm just being honest with myself and, like knowing your limits and stuff like that. So I don't think coaching is not something I think I would be good at. Okay. I can say it's pat you on the back, good job.
You just mentioned that, you try to motivate your daughter. Now, is your daughter playing basketball?
Oh yeah. She played AAU the last 2 years. Okay. And down here for Fort Hunt.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's into it. She's getting better, but it's year round, and it's driving me crazy because I'm her Uber.
Right.
It's nothing like rec ball. Like rec, she had practice on Tuesday, played on Saturday. You know what I mean? But now with AAU, when you don't have a game, you got practice. Right. Yeah, you know what I mean?
So how is it for Joe Lowe, the father, sitting in the stands, and remember, Joe, everyone knew who Joe Lowe was. You might be sitting in the stands now with your hat on. People don't know it's the great Joe Lowe over there. So how is that for you, sitting in the stands watching your daughter and wanting to make corrections or whatever it may be? Do you interact?
No, I try to get as far away from the bench as possible. Put my headphones on. I just clap. I don't want to step on the coach's toes and get involved. I work her out sometimes. We work on this and work on that. But if I'm not going to step on his toe, he's coaching her. I'm not. Right. I just try to encourage her to play hard. Listen, do your best, and don't be afraid to lose. I mean, because sometimes you learn a lot about yourself when you lose. Everybody winning's easy. And I tell her, man, Smurf was talking about the other day. It's like, man, you see a lot of kids, they get discouraged because they don't want to lose. But it's okay to get your butt kicked sometimes. It's how you handle it after that.
Absolutely.
So that shouldn't be a deal killer because this dude kicked my butt yesterday.
Right.
There's another day.
And I think you have the experience of your Thursday nights at Wakefield back when you played JV football. So I'm just kidding. It's hard to show your face on Friday morning. So I mean, at the end of the day, we touched a little bit on, but what's Joe Lowe up to now? Like, you know, what we just found out about Joe Lowe is secretly coaching his daughter. What's Joe Lowe up to now, 30 years later after Wake?
Oh, man. Well, I've been working for Fairfax County government for the last 22 years.
Wow.
In the Fairfax County SAC program, so I've been doing that. And I was telling Buck, you know, I got 3 more years and maybe I can skate.
Wow.
And me and him going to do part-time at Walmart.
Absolutely.
Just greeters at the door.
Yeah.
How you doing?
So Joe, at your job, I mean, these kids have no idea who Joe Lowe is?
Nah, I mean, they don't need to know.
That's crazy, man.
I mean, I did what I did when I did it, man. So I don't really use that as my calling card, you know. So, and I want to be known for more than just basketball and football, you know. So there's a lot of people that I've, you know, ran into over the last 30 years. They don't even know I played basketball, football. I say I've worked with people 15 years. They be like, man, I was talking to somebody and you play basketball? Yeah. So they've been knowing me 15 years and they have never knew I played basketball.
Wow.
Humble. I love that. Humble. Very humble.
Yeah, I like that. I'd rather you meet me as Joe.
Well, that's how you always was on the court. You was always quiet. You just gave people buckets, but I don't remember you talking trash.
Nah.
I just think you just gave everybody buckets and numbers.
That's what I tried.
It was what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not the way I handle things, man. So I was like, they don't need to know.
Right.
You know, the kids I deal with at elementary school. What they gonna do with that anyway? Yeah.
I think for me and Buck, I mean, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more humbling because, like we said, we all grew up together, but you were a little bit older than us.
Yes.
And it's nothing for me to say Joe Lowe was my idol. Every interview I've done, your name has always been mentioned. Mm-hmm. And when Buck and I first got the job at Wakefield, one of the first things we wanted to do was some way, somehow honor you. And, you know, we did that. I think it was 2005, I believe it was. I can't remember now. But one of the ones we wanted to do was make sure we had your jersey on the wall at Wakefield. And I know you don't care about nobody knowing who you are, what you did, and all that stuff. But when our kids come into practice in our practice facility, they see the Joe Lowe jersey, and we explain to our kids who Joe Lowe was, you know. And so we're always going to honor you, Joe, for the things you've done for us. You don't know, but you've helped our coaching career out just by little things that you've done, man. And so we just wanted to have you on as our first guest. I know Buck got some more stuff to say to you, but I wanted to thank you for.
Let's not get you to thank yous and all like that.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the part of the show where I get people to almost cry. You know what I mean?
Uh-oh.
Okay. So now this is being, you know, who was the most influential person in your life that meant the world to you, Joe?
But outside my mom and my family.
I want to hear the story about your mom. How much you love your mom, man.
Oh man, that's my people right there, man. You know, she always and like for that neighborhood, she took care of a lot of you guys in that neighborhood.
All of us.
Yes, you know, so she was a really low key person. You know how she was. I done passed her walking many times. Like get in the car, I'm like, nope. I meet you at the house. You know, but she was a real humble woman also. You know, and she always pushed me just to be like, hey. You know, work hard. You don't gotta tell everybody what you did to them, or stuff like that. Just, you know, people gonna remember you how you treated them. You know, so if you're a jerk, they gonna remember you as a jerk. You know, so she was great for that neighborhood, and it's proud for me when people walk up to me like Alvin and all these guys, Ricky, all these guys have been through her classroom, and how much they love her.
Right.
You know, Ricky when he was working down apartments. He made sure he looked out for her, you know. That's special, man. That's the impact she had on a lot of people, like, you know, outside of mine. You know what I mean?
Nice try, Buck. He didn't cry.
Yeah.
I tried because I know how much I know how much his mom meant to him and how she was big in the community. Like you said, like when I would like go after school, I would just run up to Carver. You know, hell with homework. I wouldn't do homework until 7, 8, 9 o'clock. But after school, in the house. Put my stuff on up the cob. And I would, she would always be walking down here after work or whatever and be like, now you know you're supposed to be home before the lights go out. You know, little things like that. But she was well respected in the neighborhood, man. Joe lived across the street. And, you know, it's little things like that. And, you know, as I was listening to Joe's story, I mean, it's so many things that are like similar that we went through. Like he played for Bob. I played for Bob. He played for Bo Knight. I played for Bo Knight. Freshman year, we didn't get into football until our 8th grade, 9th grade year.
Yeah.
We both played freshman then, or I don't. You played freshman year basketball.
Yeah.
Freshman, and then we both went up to varsity.
Yeah.
And you know, little things that you see and you don't. But Joe, you don't know how much you meant to me, my man. I mean, I wanted to be like you so bad. It was scary. And like I tell people to this day, people, man, why you get 24 was Joe Lowe.
Yeah.
That's the reason I wear 24 because of Joe Lowe.
Yeah. Y'all made me proud on the hill, man. You, Clayton, Marcus, you know, all y'all, man. Y'all drove, everybody, all y'all balled, Tony, everybody, man. Y'all balled and y'all made, I just think I'm part of the tradition of the hill. I'm not the best that came off the hill by no means, but just I'm part of that tradition. And I like that. I like when you see people Johnson Hill, you start thinking basketball, you know, and coming up the Carver and getting your boots smoked and leaving.
I remember getting put out of Carver at 6 because the adults came in at 6. And you go play outside. And then you sneak back in and try to play, you know, with the big boys. I remember all that.
And they stop the game and kick you right back out.
Because you wasn't ready. But when you finally got to the big boy court, like you said, and playing against you guys, it's like, I can play a little bit, you know?
Yeah. I was talking to somebody the other day about Sundays at Carver.
Oh.
It was nothing like that, man.
Hey, my man, if you lose your first game, you might as well go home.
Go home.
I remember going to school. Rayfield had got out on me one Sunday. I remember going, I'm going to bed early, so I got to see him in the morning. And I asked him one question: what time are you going to be at Carver? On Monday morning. I got to get you back.
I don't think the kids have this today. They don't have that, you know.
Yeah. So I got to get them back.
Yeah, we just don't have that anymore. Now that would have turned into a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
right.
Things are so different back then, man. That we looked up to our older guys, man, and we had, like you said, we didn't have the AAUs and we had our older guys in the community to beat us up and show us the way. And you know, and even though I grew up in the valley, you know, we would come up to Carver, y'all would come down to Drew. You know, so it was that rivalry that we just don't have today, man. And I don't know if it'll ever be back. The world has changed, but again, like I said, man, thankful for Joe Lowe and the other guys who paved the way. And it's not a day that me and Buck haven't gone and said, Joe Lowe, and the things you've done for Wakefield and for our community, man. So just
I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it a lot, man.
Okay, well, one more question.
Yeah.
How would your family and friends just describe Joe Lowe? I mean, what would they say? Who is Joe Lowe? How would they describe him?
Quiet. Take care of his family. Look out. I done made a whole lot of mistakes, brother. Never the same one twice. Even when you make a mistake, you know, you apologize or you know, do something like that. And that's about it, man. You know, laid back. I don't hang out much. You know, I'm at the crib most of the time and hanging out with my family, my wife. You know, just doing our thing. But I don't know. I mean, I think that sums it up right there, man. You know, good friend. Yeah. Good friend.
Humble.
You know,
I say humble. For sure, humble. For sure.
I was talking to Tony early before the show and everything, and he said, "Man, how we gonna get Joe Lowe to talk?" I said, "Oh shit, we can get Joe to talk." I said, "But you'll hear more giggles than talking."
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about that. We said our first guest, hands down, Joe Lowe, but then I started thinking, I said, "Buck, Joe don't talk much, man. What we gonna do?" So I think this turned out great, man, and I hope
so, man. I love this thing y'all doing, man. I watched all of them, and all of them been good, except for like the part when Buck's sitting with the star in the back.
Hey,
I'm glad
y'all removed that. Scenery, right? I changed my scenery, my man.
We kept getting emails and phone calls. He had to change his background.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, I boxed all that stuff up until 2021.
Yeah. Hey, I need a haircut. That's why I got this. and look, I had to find it. Like, where my rascal at?
Yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough. But yeah, so with that said, man, we again, I mean, we can't thank Joe Lowe, Wakefield class of '87, Arlington South Arlington legend, Joe Lowe.
Real quick, and I got to go back one more thing because I just thought about it. Okay, as I was going through my 1991 Better Sportsman thing book,
Right.
Joe Lowe, Athlete of the Year, 1987.
Yeah.
Horace Willis, Athlete of the Year, 1991.
Yeah.
APT holding it down.
APT, hold it down, man.
I'm holding it down, man. That
APT got all the trophies.
That's all right, man. Yeah, and to find out, like I knew why Buck wore 24, but I mean to actually have Buck say that to you on here was
Yeah, man, that means a lot, man. That's my man. You know, I lived across the street from him, and I never knew. They must have had a red line going through there, him and Eric's bedroom, because Eric went to Wakefield.
We've already had this
He
discussion.
goes to W now.
Don't know how that happened,
No,
man.
you were right there in the middle of the bedroom.
Hey, whatever they did that year, they caused Wakefield a state championship because if Buck was at Wakefield in 1990, that's a state championship team for sure.
Yeah.
So we've already had that conversation, man.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Easily, man.
So
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna try to close this out, man. Of course, as you guys can see, we can talk to Joe Lowe all day long, and that's what these shows are gonna be about. We're gonna bring guys on to just come on, be legends, and talk to us about what they've done and what they've done. And we're honored to have our first guest on our newly show, Legends, and Joe Lowe, South Arlington's own, Wakefield's own. We still claim him. Joe Lowe, thank you for being on the show, my man.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate you, bro.